Hey, what's going on? One Punch and Done finally returning after my long time away from the YouTubes. It's been a while, I'll admit, but I'm back. The DLC just released for My Hero, and we're gonna crack open. I mean, it's not really worth cracking open both boxes because we don't, we know what's coming in them, but we're gonna do it anyway. Sorry, I have cats running around like wild around here. So let's just break open the box. First things first, this, no one seemed to have knew when it was gonna drop, but it finally did, and we got Asui, Ochako, Ida, and All Might. They're alternate character cards. I do know some of the cards that are coming in here, but I'm not gonna ruin it if you don't know what cards come in here. But really quick, let's just go through, because let's do this the right way, right? Leaving the action, I'm not reading that, but what does come in this is 24 foil cards. That's what it's all about, baby. 2 of each character, 2 of each character attack, and 2 of each character's foundations. And I believe float combo and classmate something is this is the Ochako. I mean, I really am breaking this open for Ochako, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this now, and because I want her toolkit is, I do have an Ochako deck too. I'm guilty of that. Okay, that's gonna need that. Okay, so here's All Might. Put that over to the side. We have the All Might card. Discard the top 4 cards of your deck. This is All Might. Oh, okay, 2, I guess. Discard the top 4 cards of your deck. Your attach gets +2 damage. I think it's meant to say your attack. Real nice. Paid good money for this. Your attack gets +2 damage. If it is blocked, your next attack gets +2 damage. So we got a misspelled thing. I mean, I don't know what you would call it, but it's an error. So way to go, Jasko. I'm sure it's not your fault, but you should fire whoever is quality control over there, because that, I mean, if you just read the card, basic, it's pretty obvious. I was like, what is this new skill? Okay. Here we go. Boom. All right. So All Might. We read this card already. Discard momentum, draw. If this attack is not blocked, draw a card. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I gotta see them in action before I actually know how I feel about a card. Mighty Punch. It's a 7, I'm sorry, it's a 5 diff, 3 check, 3 block modifier, which is pretty weak there, pretty bad. But it's a 3 mid for 7 damage. I believe this is probably one of the strongest attacks in the format right now. Enhance, I mean, just pure base stats. Discard the top 4 cards from your deck. If this attack is not blocked, draw 2 cards. Okay, so that goes hand in hand. Discard the top 4 cards, your next attack is +2. If it is blocked, and this is if it is not blocked. So if you're using these in unison, you're discarding 8 cards, but you're giving your opponent a damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think your opponent would much rather block and give your next attack +2 damage than let you draw 2 cards. That's just in my opinion. I'm not sure though. Deadlock Enhance. Discard the top 10 cards of your rival's deck. All right. All right, and then Staggering Positivity. Pretty good card. Okay. Flip, your attack gets +2 damage. If this attack is blocked, shuffle up to 3 cards from either player's discard pile into their deck. That could be huge. Putting cards from your discard pile into your deck is a big thing, especially if you are a deck that runs, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Cool, so Staggering Positivity, pretty decent card, I think. All right, we got Chaco Uraraka. This is a 5 hand size Ochako deck, so I've never played her. I'm not really sure how I feel about her. I don't get the warm fuzzies just from looking at her like stats. Yeah, 33. health, which is cool and everything, but I don't know if that's going to do it for me. Luckily, she does run the air symbol, but she runs chaos and death, which is pretty cool. This card can run some of Shigaraki and Nomu's cards, so I'm sure there's a thing out there, whether it be now or in the next set to come, that will make this as a great combination of those symbols. I'm not really sure. So she does. We got once per turn, after your non-throw attack deals damage, add it to your hand. Your next check to play an attack this turn gets +2. So that's really good. After your non-throw attack deals damage. So you got Grab Lift, which is like Zero Gravity Lift, which is like one of her best attacks, and it is one of the best attacks in the entire game. So you can't start off with that. It has to be one of her other attacks, whether it be Meteor Shower or something else, but it comes right back to your hand. That's pretty cool. And that's just in her kit. I'm not sure how else you can use this as good as you. I'm sure there's better ways. Commit, this attack gets -3 speed. It's pretty cool, I guess, to stop an oncoming attack. Obviously, you can use it for defense, or enhance, this attack gets +2 speed. So, wow, you can just use that every turn. You can make your attacks pretty fast. Well, that's pretty good. Other than that 5 hand size, I mean, this seems like a really solid card. But that 5 hand size kills me. Kills me. All right, float combo. Pretty cool card attack here. It is a ranged, adding to her personal repertoire of ranged attacks there, as if she doesn't have enough. Speaking of have enough of, it's a high, which is basically every Ochako deck, which I found out pretty recently that is not the best way to run her, just all high attacks. As good as it is, if your opponent's smart, they're going to save their high blocks, and if you're not using this Ochako and making your speed nice and high, they're pretty easy to block. It does have a combo if you play a high attack, which you won't have a problem doing in an Ochako deck. And if you do, you can switch this attack's speed and damage, which is, I guess, pretty cool. What you could do is give it +2 speed first and make it an 8/4 with Ochako's enhance ability, and it's an 8 speed for 4 damage, and then you can use this combo enhance and make it a 4 speed for 8 damage, and who knows what other ways you can add to this. I'm not really sure off the top of my head, but that's just one thing I'm thinking of. You can make it an 8 damage attack, or you can do it first, make it a 6/6. You turn it into a 4 speed for 6 damage, and then give it 2 speed and make it a 6/6. It's less damage than 8, but it's more likely to hit. So that's a pretty cool way to use it, I guess. If this attack is completely blocked, it still deals the damage. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Definitely goes hand in hand with this. After your non-throw attack deals damage, add it to your hand. So unless they're wall clinging, or I think that's off the top of my head anyway, I think that's the only thing that they can do to avoid damage, unless they bring the damage to 0. This is still going to deal 1 damage. So you can float it right back to your hand. That's pretty cool. And then her first day of class, this is the foundation that I kind of really wanted. Flip, after this card is committed during the enhanced step, ready it. Playable while committed. Then enhance commit. If this is the first attack this turn, your next check to play an attack gets +2. That's great. But you're using this because if someone stuns it, or if you have to tap it to play a card, you simply turn it over and ready it, and it's basically a free foundation. So to me, I think this is like a 4 of in every deck, but that's to be determined. So that's Ochako, and now we're on to Tenya Ida. It's a 7-hander, 7 hand size, 19 health. So this is definitely different from the Ida we had before. More cards is always good, so let's see what he does. Once per turn, discard a card after an attack is played, draw 1 card. This attack gets +2 speed. If you discard an attack, it gets +4 speed instead. I really have to see this in action. I don't even know. It doesn't sound good, especially because it's once per turn, and then you're essentially doing what his foundation already does, calling for backup, right? Discard a card after an attack is played, draw a card. So you're basically doing calling for backup. It's kind of like a worse calling for backup. And it's once per turn. His speed goes, you get speed doing it, but Tenya doesn't really have problems getting speed. If this attack speed is at least double its printed speed, it gets +2 or -2 damage. Okay. I guess that's pretty good to do on defense, because when people boost up their speed, but -2 damage, +2. I don't know if that's gonna make a difference. I don't know. It may be a good card. I truly don't know. So that's the Ida character card. All right. The high engine kick. It's a 4 diff for 3 check. We got a 1 block modifier. It's a good mid block, and it's a 4 high for 4 damage. It's a kick. Enhanced. Discard a card. This attack gets +2 speed. If you discard an attack, it gets +4 speed. Instead, draw a card. Okay, so all these go with the character cards, obviously, right? That's why they did it. If you discard an attack, it gets +4 speed instead. So you can give something basically 8 speed with these 2 cards. Discard a card. This card gets +2 or +4 if it was an attack. So if you discard an attack using him and this gets +8 speed, it becomes a 12. You can draw a card. 12 speed for 4 damage. That's a great way to end a game. If, you're just looking to get in one more hit. It's going to be very, very, very hard to block, but it is blockable. But if your opponent's aware of what you're doing, I don't know. I like this card. I do like that it's Earth also. I can throw this in my Nomu deck. Discard a card. This card gets +2 speed. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I don't even know if that would be a good card to put in my Nomu deck. It's a kick attack, and my Nomu is mostly punches. Anyway. Class 1A President Flip. If this attack speed is at least double its printed damage, it gets +2 or -2 damage. So it's basically his this was kind of a lazy thing, I think. The Ida foundation and his attack and his character card kind of all do the same thing, I believe. So or it also doubles down on these attacks. So maybe in theory it sounds pretty boring, but maybe in theory it's actually really good. Suyu Asui, it's a 6-hander 29. So it's a little bit more of a strong Asui card that we had. We had a pretty glass cannon before. Enhance if your attack is not blocked. Your next attack this turn gets +2 speed. And then enhance, discard 1 card from your rival's card pool. Your ranged attack gets +4 damage. So I guess you want them to block, right? Or you want to at least put cards in their card pool. I noticed this has evil and water, so I know Mineta is all about getting cards into the card pool. I'll have to look at some possible strategies, some combos that you can use with her and some of Mineta's toolbox, toolkit, whatever, and life. Okay, very cool, very cool. All right, Tongue Whip. It is a 4 diff, 3 check. Is a low block 2 modifier, 4 low. Lows are always good. And low blocks are always good too, so that's pretty cool. 4 for 4. Enhance this attack gets +1 damage for each card in your rival's card pool. Yeah, this is very, very Mineta feeling. Add the top card of your rival's deck to their card pool. So you're trying to fill up your opponent's card pool and take advantage of it, right? So the more they block too, the stronger this attack effectively becomes. And then you could always discard a card from your opponent's card pool in order to give one of your attacks +4 damage. So that's pretty solid. I like that. And then we got first villain encounter. Commit, your attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage. Your next range attack this turn gets -1 difficulty. So that's a pretty solid card, I guess. And then it does have a deadlock flip. Your rival adds 2 foundations from their stage to their card pool. That's sinister. really good, I think, in Deadlock. But anyway, that's the cards here. Sorry, I had to look at that the whole time. So we got the Asui cards. Sorry, again, I have cats roaming around the house. If I had to grade these on like just from what I think they'll be capable of doing, I'd have to say that this would be B to C+, I think. I don't know. I'm also not a pro at this game, so you know, I do the best that I can, but I'm not a pro. So you know, I play, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert player at all. Okay, this I would definitely give the C to the D range. I'm not really feeling this. I don't know. I think Ida was the least impressive of the bunch, but again, I stand. It wouldn't be the first time I was wrong. If ever I'm proven that those cards are good. Ochako, I got a soft spot for Ochako. I do run an Ochako deck. I just love the play style. She's very like in your face, getting in the damage as fast as possible. Just a very strong card overall. This card has a really, I mean, it's a low block, which is always good to have again, because lows are the hardest things to block, I suppose. But this card right here just brings this whole thing up to, this is definitely an A for me. I don't know so much about the character card. I do know that these two in particular things are like A+ material for me. So I'm very, very impressed with the Ochako formula there. And then finally, All Might. I'm gonna say B to C. Not too impressed with Mighty Punch. Again, could be a good card. I don't like that you're discarding so many cards. I mean, once you go through your deck for the second time, you essentially lose the game. So, I don't know. This is just like, I mean, imagine playing two of these, you know, and using your character's ability. Discard the top 4 cards, you know. You're discarding 16 cards from the top of your deck. I don't know, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I think that Todoroki has some use for that. Getting cards in your discard pile is super, super strong for a Todoroki deck. There's potential there. So I'm actually gonna take that back and say, for a Todoroki anyway, again, I could be totally wrong, but for a Todoroki deck, I'm thinking there's a lot of potential here. And if what I think is possible with this is possible, I would bring that up to an A, because I think one of the hardest things with Todoroki was getting cards in the discard pile. That is if you're playing Todoroki Fire. I don't play Todoroki, so I'm not really sure what he's played as, but I do think that the most played Todoroki is either Water, or I don't know what his other symbol is. I don't know if Fire's played with Todoroki. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry it was stretched on for so long. I just want this game to really get some legs because it's fantastic. It's really fun. I haven't been into a card game in a very long time, and this game just brings me a lot of enjoyment. And I went to my local card store and I picked up this DLC. Support your local card shops, guys. They're like so important. I know that people play online and they play on like Tabletop Simulator. I personally do it myself to test out decks, but there is nothing like playing in person, in my personal opinion, and our card stores are the like most essential things to keep these hobbies going. So, you know, without those shops, these things don't exist. And even the tabletop simulators and all the digital versions, they don't exist without the real product. So I live on Long Island, and I have this great shop called The Brothers Grimm, and I support them. So they have a lot of cool product. They support this game, and I'm all over that. So thanks again for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Please remember, if you can, subscribe and leave a like on the video, a comment, get the juice flowing on these videos so that we can get more people into the game, because it's great, the community is awesome, and it's really taking off. So thanks again for watching. I'll check you later. Take care.